Morning, everyone. Yes, getting a good night's sleep really does help. I know right now that's a little difficult. I can say with authority that Rite Aid currently in Jaffrey is stocked with, the NyQuil stuff that came out that isn't NyQuil but is just to help you sleep. So I'm going to be really frank. Right now, getting enough sleep and hydrating are probably the two most important things you can do if you're not sick, because they'll help you stay sane and healthy. So if you need some help for a couple of days, by gosh, go out and get some. Seriously. If you're not a medication type person, try a cup of chamomile tea or some lavender. Um, Take a hot bath, whatever it takes. But do your best to get a little extra sleep. And I don't know about anybody else. I want to talk about schooling for a minute because I know for a lot of the kids, their first taste of homeschooling started yesterday, and I have heard a lot of people talk about how it didn't go so well. So the most important thing I want you all to get out of this, especially if you haven't done this before and you're out there trying to figure it out, is your kids are not going to die if they don't do homework. Okay? This is not to say you shouldn't make them do their homework. You should. Um, but they're not going to die from it. And I will say I'm currently very disappointed in SAU 47's administration. Not the teachers. The teachers have been awesome. They deserve frickin' medals of honor for pulling this together in 3 days. 3 days. They went from regular classroom teaching to online in, even if it's bumpy, 3 days, people. Okay? Kiss a teacher, like after the danger is past. Send things to your teacher. Email them, tell them how much you appreciate them. They need to hear it right now, because if you think you're a mess, they're more of a mess. Trust me. So, that said, the admin pushed them to start school right away from home. And I really don't think that was the right thing to do. I can say, as somebody who's been homeschooling our kids for 2.5 years now, almost 3 years, okay, we, the first 5 months, we were a mess. Okay? It was not good. And this is working with VLAX, who have all their ducks in a row and have for ages, and they have their system and they have it all perfected. So their end was 100% wonderful. It took 5 months for us to get it all figured out and get the bugs ironed out. Okay? Don't get down on yourself. Quite frankly, if you have a day where you look at the glass of wine and you look at your kids, and that's the only thing standing between you and using the duct tape to put them against the wall, go for the wine and let them do it. Just send them to read a book or watch a documentary, or, go watch YouTube videos on how to do something useful. Don't sweat the small stuff, okay? I know some of what the Jaffrey school system is doing and the Ringe school system is doing is a little confusing. And it's going to be for a couple of weeks. And I need you all to take a deep breath and realize that that's not going to get fixed overnight, because the teachers themselves are working with stuff they haven't worked with before. It's not just you guys at home that are dealing with this. This is everybody, okay? And it's also not just Jaffrey. There's stuff all over the world right now, and all over America, where schools are closing down. And so it's going to pass, okay? Even if we're stuck in this for more than a couple of weeks, and I'll be honest, I think we will be, it's not worth panicking over. Your kids are not going to kill each other, even if you sometimes wish they would. Um, please, no mayhem. I will guarantee you there's more paperwork in dealing with dead children than there is in homework. Sad truth. Sorry. So yeah, the school thing is going to be slow, but give our teachers time. They are indeed miracle workers, if you haven't figured that out already by having to deal with your own children at home. So they will get it under control, and learning will happen, and it's okay. And even in worst case scenario, they lose 6 months of school. It's not going to affect their livelihood going forward. Okay? It's just not. Any employer down the road who sees that you had a gap year this year at this time is going to go, oh, coronavirus. Okay? Nobody's going to be going, well, what were you doing during that? How come you weren't at school? Or how come you. Okay? This is not going to affect their future in any massive way. Just little things. And as long as you keep some kind of learning going on at home, whether that's via online schooling or worksheets or farming outside and gardening or reading books with them, whatever thing you can do, it's okay. I know that some of the teachers aren't going to say that, but I'm saying that. And the teachers, frankly, are only saying that because they're going to get shat on by their admin if they don't produce miracles. So please be gentle on them. They're doing 110% right now. So that leads me to supply chains. I had to go out this morning because we needed to do a couple of things. So I have a friend who's out of toilet paper, and so we wanted to go and pick up a 4-pack just so that they were not left hanging, so to speak. Couldn't find any. But while I was at the various stores, every single one had a truck parked outside. I saw bread being unloaded. I saw milk being unloaded. I saw eggs being unloaded. I saw other paper products being unloaded. And I got told by 2 of the 3 stores I went to that they were expecting a toilet paper delivery later today, and they were going to limit it to 1 per customer or 2 per customer because they want as many people as possible to have access to it. So our supply chain is not broken, okay? Here's what happened. Up until Monday morning, most of us went off to work or school during the day. And we went to the bathroom at work or school. We ate food at work or school. And a good portion of people ate school food or cafeteria food or takeout food at work. Okay, I know some of us have been making lunches and taking them to work, but the vast majority of people tend to eat where they're working. They're not taking in lunches. All of that food comes from a different source than the food at your grocery store. Okay? So I think it's called Cisco is the big one. They deliver to schools and to some restaurants and things like that. Okay? And they do bulk food deliveries. That's not interrupted. The grocery stores went from dealing with, one set of population to almost twice the population, because now with everybody home, there is actually more use of toilet paper and wipes and hand sanitizer and food and snacks and drinks and everything. So while some of this is definitely panic buying, especially in the bigger cities, I haven't seen a lot of that in the Jaffrey Ringe area. We've been short on things, but I haven't seen people being douches, okay? So just be patient. I have a couple of friends who are long haul truckers, and they are on the road, and they are assuring people that yes, there are trucks full of food and paper supplies coming from all over the place, and they are being delivered, but it takes time. Some of them had truckers have these rules where they're required to be down for a certain number of hours per day and things like that. And with all the closures, what was happening is a lot of the truckers weren't able to get food because they can't take a truck through the drive-through, and you can't walk through a drive-through, and the restaurants were closed. So if you happen to be at a McDonald's and you see a truck near there, check and see if the driver needs food. You don't have to get closer than 6 feet, but you can offer to take your car through and get them their food because they're not able to get it. We're trying to figure out ways to deal with it that don't interfere with everybody else, but we haven't gotten there yet. So if you can help out, please do. But those trucks are out there and food is being delivered. Toilet paper is being delivered. Hand sanitizer, a lot of that's going to hospitals. So as frustrating as it is, please don't get upset with people about it not being on the shelves. And please remember to say thank you to the people who are stocking your shelves. I'm not going to get into an argument about how much they should be paid or how much they are paid, but by gosh, do you know what they do deserve? Your gratitude. That's free. Okay. Every time I've gone into a store and seen somebody restocking a shelf, the first thing I say is, thank you. And you know what I get in return? Huge smiles. Okay. That one thing can make somebody's day. So if you are forced to go out and get something from the store or get something from the Rite Aid, please, please say thank you to those that you see. It will help their day as well. And they have really long days. Unlike me and some of you, they're not working from home. They're out there on the front lines dealing with stuff that could be making them sick, and they have no way of knowing, and they're doing everything they can. But how much can you do when there are people jostling past you all the time? So think about that. Social isolation or social distancing or whatever the hell they're calling it today is really important. It's not going to stop the spread of this disease, but what it's going to do, we hope, knock on wood, is spread things out so that people get sick in less large batches. And that means that our hospitals can stay up with it. We've seen some very interesting stuff with 3D printing and 3D printing and stuff of respirators, but those are not perfect, and they're still working on stuff. But it's happening, and if we all work together, we can. What I want to ask is, those of you who are teenagers and young adults, please go out and shame your peers into not going out. Socialize online. This is probably the only time in your life that your parents will be glad that you're socializing online, okay? Please don't stop your teenagers from talking to one another online, even in the middle of the school day. I'm just going to throw that out there. They're supporting each other right now. And the more they support each other, the better off they will be. They're used to being chummy and together all the time. And when they're not, it's hard on them. Don't you think back to your own teenage days and how important your social network was? Okay, let them do what they need to do, whether that's playing on Snapchat or making YouTube videos about nail polish or I don't know what the heck else they do these days. Not Twitter. Keep them off Twitter. Anything that can be said in 140 words doesn't need to be said. But anyway, yeah. So just be kind to yourself and be kind to your kids and be kind to each other. Okay. Cooking. I hope you guys saw the bread recipe yesterday. I did post it on my Facebook page. Oh no, I didn't post it on my Facebook page. I pasted it in the comments of the YouTube video, so you can see it there. It's great. I love it. I made 3 loaves yesterday, and other than a slight brain fart on my part in not oiling the sides of my pan, they turned out really nice. The crumb was good, and it was tasty, so I'm pleased with myself. Baking bread is really therapeutic because you get to knead the dough, and there's something about the pushing and the ripping. it just kind of calms you, and it's really nice. So I think next week I'll do some easy recipes, but for those of you who aren't preppers or haven't been doing this kind of thing, if you have a box of pasta, bow tie works really well. That's what I used the other day, and some sausages or hot dogs. I used chicken kielbasa because it was what they had in the store, and that's what I had on hand. I had an onion. I had some peas and I don't know, I threw in a bunch of vegetables. I threw carrots and a bunch of other stuff. So throw a bunch of vegetables and a can of tomatoes with the juice and the meat and stuff into a pot while you're cooking your pasta in a separate pot. When your pasta's done, drain it, put it back in the pot, take all of the goop, put it in over the top. You've got proteins, you've got fats, you've got carbohydrates. You have a complete meal there. If you throw a salad on the side, that looks pretty darn healthy, and it's really tasty. For something I threw together in 40 minutes from start to finish, everybody loved it. They ate every last bit, and it was asked for again. So it's quick and simple, and you can change it up. You know, I used Italian spices because I had a kielbasa sausage. If you want to put in something spicy, you could use Cajun spicing. You could put in, pieces of chicken and make it curry. You throw different things in. If you're vegan, you could throw in chickpeas. Do whatever you want to do, but have something nice, quick and easy. Don't Yesterday, or not yesterday, day before yesterday, I went to make my food and my fish was still frozen. And I just threw my hands up and went, you know what? It's a chicken fingers night. I made boxed chicken fingers and that was it. And yes, that's kind of depressing from my standpoint because I usually make all this stuff from scratch. But it felt really good not to have to deal with shit. Wow, it really did. Um, yeah, cleaning. So I have usually 5 or 6 people in this house every single day, or most days when we're not on isolation. Sometimes it's more than that if the kids have friends over or I have friends over. We generate a lot of dishes. Our dishwasher died yesterday. Good Lord. I'm going to be hand washing today. My children are going to be drying and putting away. They're unimpressed. So if you're hand washing your dishes, I salute you. Right. Editing. I am actually going to be doing some editing today because a lot of the work I expected to do today ended up getting done yesterday, and so I actually have time to do it today. Yay, team. So keep working on your writing. Don't let, the work from home thing take away from that. You can throw in writing whenever you want. Toss it in on your lunch hour, take a 10-minute break and jam some words down. It's all good. So somebody had a daily quarantines questions thing that I'm going to share with you just before I log out. And I'll try and post this to my Facebook page. Question number 1 is, what am I grateful for today? Today, I'm grateful for the truckers out there who are bringing things in and restocking our shelves because they're awesome. Number 2, who am I checking in on or connecting with today? Well, I'm checking in on a few of my friends and I'm connecting with all of you because I love you. What expectations of normal am I letting go of today? That one's hard for me because really this is kind of my normal anyway. I guess the only normal I'm letting go of today is that I know I can't just go out and buy another 9-pack of toilet paper. So I'm going to have to be patient with that. How am I getting outside today? Well, I'm actually going out for a drive later today and going to visit with a friend who is also in isolation. So we are both safe. Yay! How am I moving my body today? Well, I've been up and down the stairs a zillion times. I'm going to be dancing while I wash the dishes. And I might go on the Nordic track. I don't know. We'll see how I'm doing. What beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inviting in today? Well, I don't know how many of you out there will understand this. Most of the ladies, I suppose, but I'm going to shave my legs today. Yep. Been in quarantine hasn't been a high priority. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to wear a dress today because it's going to make me feel nice. Now it's a jumper, so I feel nice, but I don't look all that great. But I will be happy with myself, and that's what counts. So go out and answer those questions for yourselves and have yourselves a lovely day. I probably won't check in this weekend because I'm going to be out of the house in a place that it is difficult to stream from. But I'll see you guys on Monday morning, and hopefully we'll talk books and writing then, okay? I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Remember to stay 6 feet away from people and wash your hands and take care of each other. I love you.